Welcome. This is the Bone and Steel DIY altar cloth for Fate, the quarterly box for June. This altar cloth came with a suede piece of leather, a acrylic piece of yarn that felt like fur, and a little bag that had an ancestor charm, some antler pieces, and a glass disc. This was to get you started. You could add whatever else you wanted to your altar set, but the ideas were limitless. You're really able to carve, burn, draw, or do whatever you wanted with your kit. You could glue, sew, weave, whatever you needed to. So this is to both inspire you, but also to show you what is possible. And this is also a part of a giveaway. So I will let you know how you can win this very altar cloth at the end by commenting on this video. So let's get started. So these are all my supplies. I have leather shears. I have Gorilla hot glue. I do have leather kit pieces because I do leather work. So I have leather needles, leather wax thread. I have a leather hammer kit. I have bone beads. I have all kinds of stuff because I am an artist and a crafter. And you can get all this stuff at your local craft store. So, let us begin. Here is the Yggdrasil charm that I selected because that was the main theme of the box. Fate, the Norns, and care of the Yggdrasil tree. And of course, with any sacred project, I always like to smudge and put my intentional energy into it. And this time I did it with the Palo Santo stick that was also included in the Bone and Steel quarterly box that I gave out. This is to both cleanse and create a rune sigil that I added to the back of this. And you might recognize this ring. It was in the December Bone and Steel box. It has all the Futhark runes in it. And I used a combination of some of the rune markings as well as sigil markings to create a magical emblem of my own energy. Once it was infused with my energy and I felt that everything was in place, I used my leather needle and did all of the holes for the weaving. And you have to use a lot of pressure for this because this is very high grade suede leather. So it's very thick. And you'll see me stretching my hand a lot during this process because I was cramping quite a bit. And at one point I was using pliers because getting that needle through the hole was hard. I also used wax thread because wax thread tends to stay in leather much easier than regular thread. And these are bone beads that I get from a Native American shop. And what I did was I used the Native American bone bead to basically use as an anchor, and then I pulled the rest of it through. So that was the first part. And then I used agate and then I did a leather bead, and then I did another agate bead, and then I pushed the needle through my pre-done hole, and then I brought it through on the other side, and that's where I added my next bone bead. And these bones are actually buffalo bones. Anytime I use animal, it's very sacred to me. I always try to use sustainable, and I always source from places that also value the animal. Now when you're pushing through, always push away from your body, away from your face. Especially when using this much pressure. When I was pulling with this, it might look like I was, having a hard time, but I was doing it away from me. I also like to use Gorilla Hot Glue because it sticks the best. I couldn't get the needle through the bone bead, so I just undid it from the needle and then pushed it through, and then I restrung it through the needle again. I never like to use any kind of plastic, and I try to stay away from glass. I always like to use crystal, stone, metal, bone, feathers, anything that would be sacred to nature or a planet. Once I was done, I just tied it in the back in a nice good slip knot about 3 times, and then I trimmed it. And I did that on both ends. And because it's waxed, it stays really well. And then I just repeated the very same thing on the same side so that it was a great pattern. If you're watching this, did you get this box? Were you already done with this altar cloth when you watch this? Or have you watched this to get ideas? I'd love to know your comments below. once I was done with both sides, I wanted to work on this center piece. So unfortunately, I did have to glue some parts, but I was okay with it. So I glued the Yggdrasil charm, which I was able to take off the little loop by just popping it off with some pliers. And then I glued the giant loop, which I was also able to take off the ring with some pliers. And I felt like that was a great way to encircle the tree of life with all the Futhark runes. And then I added the buck on top. And this charm actually came in one of the Wolfentime boxes with the Shaman Talisman antler. But this reminded me of the Bone and Steel logo. And the buck is very sacred to me, as well as antlers. And then I referred to the rune quick guide that I have in our shop. And I decided on 4 runes of my choice. And I'll have them listed down in the description box below, so you know which one each meaning has. And I decided on silver paint to go with the steel theme. And these antler pieces are from naturally shed antler tips from deer. And then anytime you want to imprint in leather or suede, you have to get it wet. So I painted the spots where I wanted to imprint it with water. And then obviously my art desk wasn't the best place. So I took it over to my countertop and I hammered in the beautiful prints of leaves and moons. And then I decided I would spread out the runes and add those in. So I did 2 leaf bundles and 2 crescent moon imprints where the wet spots are, and then I glued on the antler pieces where the runes are painted. Then it was time to add the border, so I grabbed my Gorilla Glue and I added the acrylic fur, and I had absolutely just enough for this border, which I thought was pretty awesome. Each kit came with different colors. There was fox, there was rabbit, and this one was wolf. Then using my quick key guide, I penciled in all of the Futhark runes alphabet, and I wanted to make this a divination board. So using the glass disc, you could close your eyes and ask your guides to direct you to which ones they wanted you to know for that moment. And then you could just move the disc and pick the runes for your divination. And so I decided to make a board. I'd never seen one before, and I thought it would be a unique idea. So after I penciled in all the runes, I burned them in with my heat stick or engraving tool. And I just left just enough space in between each one to where the disc would be able to choose one, indefinitely instead of 2. And there's 24. And it slides effortlessly across that beautiful suede. And this heat stick gets very hot, so I had to wear a glove and sharpen the tip to get that really good point to make each one stand out. But it gave me a great idea to actually make these for the shop. So I think I'm going to make some and sell them in the shop. What do you guys think? Do you think it's a good idea? And once I was done, I signed the back with my little stick. And I sealed it with my signature wax seal. And I did the Howling Wolf with all of the moon phases. And the seal of silver. And that's it. So if you would like to enter to win this, go ahead and comment below your favorite part of this altar cloth and why you follow the Norse path. And I will select a winner at the end of the month. Thank you so much for watching. I am so happy how this came out. And if you'd like a bone-in steel box, check out the link below. They are quarterly and you can grab one whenever you like. Have a wonderful rest of your day and blessed be.